Okay, so JBFC, John Black Super Chemist. And I'm back again. Let's see here now. So I basically went over, I condensed what I was talking about, but I wanted to get into a different thing that's kind of the same as this thing. Okay? I want you to hear some of these facts, man. 90% of these little girls that get their tits cut off, you know what I mean? Because they're transitioning. They're all autistic, and there are two other mental disorders that they have, and 90% of them are autistic, or these other two, and they're both social type, that have a disorder that prevents you from understanding society and how to socialize with other kids. You know what I mean? That type of thing. They are the ones. And what's funny is there seems like there's a lot of girls that are transitioning. Like there's more girls that are trying to be boys that are transsexuals than there are boys than being girls. And it should be the other way around, because humans are born female, basically. You know what I mean? So the mutation would be easy, since you're already born female, to have mistakes, as you're building that fetus up into a baby. It'd be easier for the male part to be turned off, and it ends up with the female's something or another. You know what I mean? Female trait. Whereas the other way around, if you're just already born a female, it's kind of hard to get you to change into a male brain, or a male this or male that. You know what I mean? So that's weird, okay? And I guess like 20, I'm guessing on this number, but it's really high. I think like 25% of the population now is non-binary or transgender in some way, okay? And this one is actually dead on. Gen Z, okay, Generation Z, is 40% trans or non-binary. 40%. That means half of a whole generation is transgendered. Bull! I call bull on that. Come on, man. These statistics are crazy. All right, so I went into some schools. I went into the blue states, right? Because you're going to find it in the blue states more. And I went to regular schools, like a New Jersey school. I can't remember what it was, because I did all this stuff a long time ago. This is information I found out a long time ago. A couple years ago. New Jersey schools, okay? I went into one school district that had almost 800 students. I think it was like 782 or something, somewhere around there. So let's just say 800 students. And only 15 of these 800 students, or 782, 778, or whatever it was, only 15 were not non-binary or transgendered. That's like what, 90%, 95%? 95% of the school is transgendered or non-binary. That's not if that was true, without there's no indoctrination and it just happened naturally, our species would have never survived this long. We would not have procreated or whatever. We wouldn't have survived. Our species would have been dead 100,000 years ago. Like, come on, man. I mean, that's like 95% of them is transsexual, or transgender rather, in some degree. Come on, man. Really? And 90% of little girls who are getting their tits chopped off are autistic, or have or one of the other two type of social type disorders, where you can't socialize easily with people. Come on, man. That's bullshit. That is indoctrination. And I want you to understand, because that's why I was saying at the beginning of these videos, the LGBT organization does not, and I repeat, does not represent the LGBT community in any way, shape, or form. They are two different, totally different things. Okay, just because they have the same name don't mean shit. Okay, I start to wonder this last year if the KKK changed their name into We Love Black People, whatever, but they didn't change their ideology or anything else. They just changed their name. Would the country, because I think the country would just rally around the KKK from then on, because you know how KKK comes out, man, people hate them, man. The whole country hates the KKK, except that maybe a couple hundred people that are actually in the KKK. Everyone else hates them. But if they changed their name to We Love Black People, but I think people would rally around them. They wouldn't care what the ideology is. Just like the LGBT community. Come on, man. They are communist, okay? They're about communism and only communism, okay? They uh, worship at the altar of the CRT Bible, critical race theory, and critical gender theory. That is their Bible, and their government is the God, okay? And their religion is wokeism, okay? That's who the LGBTQ are, okay? And on the subject of them, that's the stupidest. They need to stop with the letters, okay? Stop with the letters. That's idiotic, okay? I hate you now because of the letters, only because of the letters. Because now you're just adding, 50 million zillion letters in there? I don't even like you now, okay? Because that's stupid, okay? You don't give, I didn't even like the NAACP. It took me 10 years to memorize those 10 letters. Now you're going to come out with 50 letters? No. That's bullshit. Make your fucking thing short. You make your thing short. You don't fucking do that. Now you're just fucking pissing people off. You're being a jerk. It's showing your stupidity, okay, to have that many letters in an acronym or whatever, okay? You're an idiot. And if you don't realize it, then you're an even bigger idiot, because that's the most stupidest, ludicrous thing I've ever heard for a name for an organization. But they have nothing to do with gay people or trans people. They have nothing to do with it. All they have to do with is communism. And that's all there is to it, man. You can believe it or don't. They want these kids to be indoctrinated. They don't want, a regular gay or trans person does not want total strangers that are doing strip dances in their classes for 5-year-olds. They don't want that, okay? Whether they're men, women, or transsexual. I don't understand why. Like if a man or a woman who went to a 5-year-old school, started stripping and having strip dances where they're half naked, everyone would be in an uproar. But if a transsexual does it, it's like, it's okay now? No, it's not okay to do strip dances in front of little children, okay? But I want you to understand how you can see, a normal human would be able to see it from the statistics I already told you about. 90% of the little girls are autistic. 40% of Gen Z is, in the New Jersey school, like 95%, 98% of the people are trans. You think right there, you would know that how bad it is. But just in case you don't get it, okay, go to some of these sites like Tinder or these, these fuck sites that are for the younger generation, like Gen Z. Mm-hmm. Go look up their profiles on Gen Z profiles on these things. Just to go make a fake, profile. I don't know if they pay you. You got to pay to do it. I think it's free though. If it's free, go and look at these profiles. All these 18-year-olds and all these kids in Gen Z, all their profiles, and by all, I don't mean every single one of them, obviously. Depends on what area you're in, and if you're in a blue city, like you're gonna have a lot more. But they all have communist, like that sickle thing, that sickle symbol for communism. They all have that on their clothes, their hat. They all say that they are their gender. None of them talk about what who they are, or things that interest them, or hobbies they have, or things that they do. None of their profiles say anything about like that. All the profiles. Hold on, let me get. All the profiles talk about their gender, their if they're trans or if they're non-binary, what their pronouns are, and the last thing they talk about, and this is the only thing they talk about, is their mental problem. All of them they've all been self-diagnosed by TikTok, okay? And they all are autistic. They are all have a personality disorder. I mean, not a personality disorder, a split personality, like Sybil. If you're old, you'll know who Sybil is. Remember, she had like 10 personalities, and they made a movie or whatever. And that's rare to have different personalities, split personality. That is very rare. Now all of a sudden, Tourette's syndrome has gone up, like, I hate to say the same number, but it is the same number. It's about 4,000%. People are more autistic 4,000% now than they are, 5-10 years ago. I can't remember what the thing was for, the study. It was just 5 or 10 years. But whatever. 4,000%. And these Tourette's syndrome. All the kids that are in Gen Z have Tourette's syndrome now. And the thing is they're not saying, oh, I got Tourette's syndrome, I wish I didn't have it. They're saying, oh, I got the cool type of Tourette's syndrome. I have the cool, I'm autistic, but in a cool way. It's all like these mental diseases are like that they've been self-diagnosed from TikTok. They're all cool. They're all, cool. They're not something that is negative. They're something that they want, that they like to advertise and show you how they are. And what's funny is there's a lot of proof, not just the fact that all of a sudden you have 4,000% more Tourette's syndrome people, but here's an example of what I'm talking about. A woman who had Tourette's syndrome that actually had it said rhubarb, or something, some word like that. I can't remember, but let's just say rhubarb, okay? And that was one of her, because when you have Tourette's, you sometimes scream out words, which is actually very rare in itself, okay? Just because you see Tourette's syndrome on Jerry Springer, they always bring the extreme people on there. But in actuality, most Tourette's syndrome people do not scream out, yell out. It's usually a tick, or something like that. It usually is not. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's rare that they actually scream words out all the time that they can't help doing. You know what I mean? And it's always some sporadic whatever. As much as they want you to think they're all screaming out titty, fuck, ass and this shit. It's actually different words all the time. You know what I mean? There's not really a set type of thing people are screaming out when they say Tourette, when they have Tourette's. So anyways, this woman in England who has Tourette's says rhubarb. And then all of a sudden, after that, because I guess that went viral or something, right? Because whatever she was talking about, okay? I probably heard Tourette's, you know what I mean? But she said rhubarb. Now in the United States, and in the United States, no, especially Gen Z, I don't even know what a rhubarb is. I know it's some kind of vegetable or something, but I don't even know. Rhubarb is something like from the 1930s or something, you know what I mean? I don't know, rhubarb. Like, might be known in England, because they're a different culture. But in America, no one knows what a freaking rhubarb is, especially some kid. And all of a sudden, everyone in Gen Z that has Tourette's syndrome is blurting this out when they blurt stuff out. Rhubarb. Like, really? like before it was just all random from all the Tourette's people and what words they put out. Now they're all in unison. They're all in unison on what they say, what they yell out on their Tourette's. Don't you find that kind of funny that they're all in unison? It's not some random thing that they're yelling out. They're just they're all in unison when they do it.